Hi, I'm Linda Deir, and
I'm Ray Holly.
all right,
Here we are again, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night every week, right here on Facebook Live. And tonight you will experience what it's like in a personal coaching session with me, where you can speak to your guides. Ray will post the link to Angel Coaching with Linda. All coaching sessions are done on Skype or over the phone. I'm the author of Guided, winner of the 2017 Body, Mind, Spirit Book Award. And my guided journey is the companion journal to Guided. It's my fourth book, and it's a free download on my website on the homepage, lindadeir.com. Tonight, the guides will be talking about what kind of journey are you on? Published in today's Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. And Ray will post that so that you guys, if you're not getting Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, you can go ahead and sign up for them. They're free, and they come out every Tuesday morning. Is your journey one of panic, fear, and being in a hurry? Is it a journey of achievement and rushing to finish things? A journey of racing from one deadline to the next? The question is, are you running to get something, or are you running away from something? What is it you are trying to avoid in your life? We use Ask the Universal Channel for the guides to communicate their messages to you. Ray is the one they assigned to speak out their messages on this board. Ask the Universal Channel is a trademarked product of our parent company, Channeled Readings. And Ray will post the story of Ask the Universal Channel for any of you who don't know about how it all began. Now the guides will open this session about what kind of journey are you on. And before we do that, what we want you to know is we'll be taking questions after the guides finish with their opening message to you. So get ready to write them down and make some notes, or you can put them in the stream, and after we're done with the opening message, we can look at the stream and get right to your question, because we're getting more and more people attending these each week, and we don't want to miss one of you, okay? So get your questions together, and like we always do, and before you use your own method of reaching your guides, whatever you're doing, whenever you need to make that connection because you need to know something, you need answers. Always take that moment to stretch out your upper body, release the stress in your shoulders and your neck, and breathe. And I mean breathe, okay? Breathe. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe, until you catch that breath, that yawn type of breath, all right? And when you do that, you have removed any disconnection to your guides, because they're always right with you. It's us that break that connection because we're stressed out and we've complicated things, I guess is the best way to put that. So, and there, I just caught that breath. It is so good to do that. All right, and they're going to open the session with their opening message to you about what kind of journey you're on, and here they go.
Good evening, everyone. There are many different kinds of journeys. There are people who are on a journey of desire, a journey of chasing things, chasing money or relationships or jobs or happiness, with whatever comes along, they are still always chasing. there are also journeys of circumstance. It's like living your life as a pinball that just gets knocked around back and forth until it slips down the channel, only to get shot out again into life. Many people are striving to get ahead in their life. We don't exactly understand that phrase. Who are they attempting to get ahead of? It's also difficult to know when you got ahead. How do you know? It's a lifetime of comparison between yourself and others that never stops. Many people are on a spiritual journey of love and understanding. It's based in service to others and compassion. Although there are many different types of journeys, only one has fulfillment and gratitude as its main components.
All right. And do we have any questions, Ray? Let's go ahead
Let's
and take
see.
a look at what we have.
We have a few members here. Let's see who's here. Dalton, Venus, Olivia.
Great, you guys. Olivia, you made it this
You
time.
made it. Yeah, and Olivia's way on the other side of the world, over in Australia. Teresa, Melanie, Venus, Jane,
Great.
Anime. Welcome, everybody.
Great.
It's going to be an exciting night.
Yeah. Okay, so do we have any questions from
Not
these
yet.
guys? Okay, so somebody get going with the questions, all right?
Go ahead.
Let's get right in there.
Ask about your journey, what
Yeah.
kind of journey.
No one knows you better than your guides. You're going to find that out. For those of you who have not yet been with us, you're going to see how that's true tonight. So, but we need some questions, you guys. So bring them out.
Don't
all
be
right?
shy.
I see some questions coming, Ray. Do we?
Here we go.
All right.
Olivia, I'd like to know, what am I avoiding in myself and my life, and how do I overcome it?
All right. Good question, Olivia.
What is she avoiding in her life?
And remember that this is all about what it feels like. Oh, well, excuse me. Whoop, I almost gave up next week's.
You gave a sneak peek.
Oh, I did. Oh, I did. This is about what kind of journey are you on? And so she wants to know, what is it she's trying
Avoiding in herself
Right,
and my life, and how do I overcome it?
right. Okay. And that would be Olivia's journey. That's what she's wondering about. And these are your spirit guides and angels, Olivia, that are here with us now. And they're going to tell you what they see. And here they go.
You are already aware that you are avoiding something. It's something that scares you, or you are afraid will happen sometime in the future. The first thing to do is to stop worrying about the future. Most things that you imagine could happen don't. Once you start worrying about future outcomes. It causes anxiety, and the anxiety interferes with all your decision making. How you avoid these things that are holding you back is to just allow things to happen. Don't expect, don't be afraid, and just allow life to come to you. This will make your journey much more pleasant.
And Olivia, it comes back down to this, doesn't it? My Guided Journey. This is the free download on my website, you guys. This is the companion journal to Guided. My flagship book. In case you guys don't know about my flagship book, Guided, it's available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and audiobook format. And I read the book myself. It's a powerful book. But Olivia, it comes back down to documenting what's coming to you in your day-to-day life, all right? That would be part 3. And where you track what's going on with you and date it and define it. Because if you don't, you won't know what's going on. You'll only get it. It's like reading a book and only reading one chapter, one paragraph of each chapter, and expecting by the end of 30 chapters to understand what that book is about. You missed all the other stuff, all right? You're not going to get it. You're going to kind of get it, but you're not going to get it. You're not going to harness the power within you. You've got to write it down. It's like the atrophied intuitive muscles, you guys. Until we write it down, we start doing the work to get it there and define it and take it out of the ethers and put it on paper. So there's the proof. It happened. This is what happened a week ago, a month ago. You look back at it and you'll see it totally differently. And when you see it, as opposed to remembering it, it's a world of difference. This becomes your best friend because this doesn't lie. Even when you lied to yourself, when you wrote in here, in a week from now, a month from now, you look at it, you'll know it when you see it. That's how good this is when you write it in here, all right? All right.
Okay. Yeah, people don't realize if they kept track of all the things they worry about in the future, they'll find they think they spend most of their time worrying.
And you know, here's what I do. I do this. This has been working for me so well. I mean, it works for me. It's always worked for me. But it seems like it's working for me better than ever. And that is when I wake up in the morning. You see, I take that breath. I just lay there. I don't put my foot to the floor because as soon as you do that, you ground out any possibility of having that connection with your guides and hearing what they're telling you, all right? This morning when I woke up, I was wide awake. And as they were downloading information to me, my eyes were wide open. I was looking out the drapes and the sun was coming in. And I had to hurry up and run out and grab a piece of paper and start writing down everything that they told me was important I needed to do today, now, all right? Because when they come through with information, it's time sensitive, okay? That means that it's got a shelf life. So when you get this information that comes through from your guides when you ask a question, remember that it's time sensitive. So first of all, write your question that you asked, part 3. Write it into part 3. You get your answer, write it underneath that question in part 3. And then watch what you do. Watch how you play it out. And then report back to yourself in part 3 as that last and final entry, what you did to activate that, to act on that, all right? And this is just like the best. You guys will be getting sharp, you will be getting connected, and you will have your connection back to your guides in no time if you just do these simple things, all right? Okay, Ray.
Okay, let's see here. We have some more questions. Anime. Anime is new with us.
Thank you for coming.
What journey is she on? She wants to know what journey
What
she's
journey? Okay, do you have any idea what that is, Anime? I bet you have an idea about what that is.
Don't tell us.
But you might be surprised. Your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Anime, and they're going to answer that question. And here they go.
You are on a journey of service to others. You are not a self-centered person. You thrive on helping people in any way you can. This is what brings you the most joy.
There you have it. Okay, and you can respond to us right there in the feed. And anybody else have a question?
Sure. Teresa says, what would my guides like me to know about my journey?
All right. These are so sweet. And your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Teresa. And they're going to answer that question. And here they go.
Teresa, we want you to focus on your communication skills. Your writing is what will reach others and influence their lives.
Just keep on working it. Has Teresa written a book, or maybe
No,
or
but she
a blog,
wrote a
or-
great review.
She did. But if there's something they're asking you to do there, Teresa, that is taking your writing skills to another level. All right, so that you have more on a platform. I'm going to say a blog or something like that you're going to do, or you are doing, or starting, or something. It could be writing a book. And if you're writing a book, you're certainly going to need a website, and a website always needs a blog, right? So you're going to need platforms to use to announce what it is that you have to offer to others, so that they can find you. All right.
Okay. Venus has a question. How does her BFF, her best female friend, fit into her journey?
All right. Okay, Venus, your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, and they're going to answer that question, and here they go.
Your best friend is a soulmate from another life. Soulmates are brought together to learn from each other. It's the interaction between the two of you, even though you may disagree sometimes, that helps both of you on your journeys.
Okay, Venus, on the Linda Deir website, if you go to the blog, there's a blog post done not too long ago, maybe 6 weeks ago or something, about soulmates.
Soulmates.
I forgot the name of the blog. It's
Just type soulmates into the search box.
yes, soulmates into the search box, and it'll come up. And it's interesting what they said about it. It lined up with me when I thought about what the guides came through with about that subject, and something about soulmates will change your life, or life changing, or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they really are powerful and to be respected, you know, both ways.
You don't always get along with them, though.
Well, it's not that you don't get along with them. They test you. They
do.
What they do, soulmates, is they force you to grow. Okay,
Right.
they do, and you love them. Soulmates, they're your soulmate. You feel that connection, but they also push you more than you may have pushed yourself, and you've done things that you never would have done had you not had them in your life, influencing you. So soulmates are powerful. They could be the love of your life too, your soulmate. I mean, I'd say that you and I have that, Ray, where we're soulmates, and if
We're like two peas in a pod, huh?
but it's the way it really works is like when I'm working on something and I need Ray's advice, and I really respect his opinion. He's got a good eye. He knows what quality is, and we have a high quality project here, and Ray gets what the project's about. It's just like I can't believe they brought him to me, and it's all about the stories in Guided. For any of you that haven't read Guided, it's part 4, Guided.
My favorite part, where Linda meets me and lives happily ever after.
So there's 4 parts to Guided. Ray shows up in part 4.
That's, just
It happens.
came out of nowhere with my superpowers, and
And he still has those superpowers.
I do.
But the point is when you have a soulmate, you know you can depend on them. You know that they know what they're doing. They get what you're about. So a soulmate is the best, in my opinion. But when you marry your soulmate, I'd say maybe also your twin flame. I mean, there's a lot of things going on here. As long as you're good to go as far as growing through your life, instead of just going through your life, then you will not resent your soulmate and treat them badly when they bring something to your attention, you know? So, and vice versa. We do this compassionately. We do this with love. And every once in a while, Ray and I are both Leos, right? So sometimes, and both have Taurus moons, okay? So sometimes it comes down like this, where it's a power struggle. But we both, I'll tell you, we get it on. I mean, we'll battle back and forth about a thought or a concept, and we'll just, challenge each other. But there is no such thing as holding a grudge or hurting that person later on, and you remember when you did this. There's none of that. So your soulmate won't do that to you, okay? That's not a soulmate if they're doing that to you. So your soulmate won't. Your soulmate will appreciate you more than that. They'll let up on you and go, I love you more than I need to be right. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. Yeah.
you're right about that, honey.
See, he's a good boy.
That's one of my superpowers, is taking over. You know what it is?
What is it, Ray?
I'm ultra charming.
Well, and look at that hair. Beautiful.
That's my other superpower.
Right.
Okay, Joy has a real estate question. Joy, it's your turn.
Okay, Joy.
Oh, this is a good one. She has a real estate issue that's causing great anxiety. She just found out that part of her house sits on the neighbor's property. I don't know how to deal with it.
Okay, and Joy, when this kind of thing happens, you never let a situation overpower you. I mean, never. You take that situation and you get this journal off my website, lindadeir.com, My Guided Journey. It's the free download. Part 3, you'll print this out. Part 3 is where you're going to document what's going on in you, in your day-to-day life, okay? And you date it. You're going to understand how this works once you go through it and you download it. But you don't let it overpower you. The way you don't do it is you deposit that thought and that feeling that seems to have a hold of you onto the pages of part 3. And you will not believe how much that will all of a sudden clear up your head. And when that happens, guess what happens? You can breathe. And when you can breathe, your guides can reach you. And when your guides can reach you, you're going to have the answer. I'm just telling you that it's that easy. That's why this journal is so important. Your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Joy, and they're going to answer that question. And here they go.
We see you bringing in a mediator before you enter into any type of threats back and forth with your neighbor, offering to mediate the situation will be your least stressful path.
Find a mediator, a real estate mediator.
Right.
All right.
Probably a real estate attorney, right?
Yeah, a real estate attorney, definitely. Yep.
Maybe a
And
retired.
by the way, this kind of stuff, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And you are in what's called the chain of title. I have an extensive background in real estate, and not that I'm in it anymore, but once you learn it, you know it. But it's called the chain of title. So prior to you owning the house, even if it's you're the first owner of this house, somebody was responsible for putting that house on that piece of property incorrectly, and the building inspectors didn't catch it, and the where you
Title company didn't catch it?
the title company didn't catch it. Ow! I mean, they're the one that insures the title.
Right.
Okay, and it's the title that's in jeopardy here because of that. And so this is the actions of other people. It just happens you're the one that happens to own it right now. Okay, so you've got more recourse than you think, than you could imagine. All right. So if you get upset at any point in time, you go back to this journal and you start putting in there what's going on with you and dating it, and then following up on what's going on after that. There's nothing in this world that should ever consume us and destroy us. Okay, nothing that should ever debilitate us. Okay, write it in here and remove that threat to yourself. Okay. Yeah. So I see this all the time. I do coaching in 16 countries around the world now, and I see it all the time. And it's just, don't give your power up. That's what I'm saying. All right.
Right. Okay, Venus has another quick question here. Will her brother finally join me?
Okay. And your spirit guide angels are still here with us, Venus. They're going to answer that question. And here they go.
This issue with your brother can't be forced. He will come around and join you, but don't try to make it happen.
Okay. So watch that part where you try to make it happen.
Force family to do something.
Or force anything. That the whole point is, don't try to force anything. It's when you force it, it's not yours. When it comes to you, it's yours. Okay?
Right. And don't compromise just to have
It doesn't
have
have
your
to have,
way.
Well, that would be forcing it.
Yeah.
As long as you don't force it, you're not jumping into any of that. All right?
Yep.
Not for you or for the other person, right? It's respectful both ways. So it's the right way to handle anything. It just might take a little longer. The only reason we get in the way and we force it is because we don't want to wait. Well, think about that. You know? Write that into part 3 of your journal. So you've got that moment to hesitate and catch yourself and go, oh, I almost did that, but I didn't because I took the moment to write and tell on myself and date it. And have it in chronological order, and watch myself as I move forward. So the sooner you do this, the sooner you'll break those habits, and you'll have a life. You'll have a splendid life, because what comes to you, what you have in your life, is really yours. It's not something you ever have to worry about because you didn't chase it. Okay.
Olivia has a comment. She says she's doing part 2 of the book and 3 every day.
Whew. Olivia, you're going to be a superstar.
She's come a long way.
You have. And we want to hear how you're doing with it. We want you to share with all of us what you need help on. Okay? Where you're doing really good. I did this and it worked. Okay. I want to hear about all that kind of stuff. All right? Because it helps everybody. It's like, I'm going to get into reviews for a minute. Any of you who have got my book, the audiobook or the other two, the Kindle or the paperback, when you leave a review for Guided, did you hear me say for Guided, not for me? This is more important than me, and I know that. And when you leave a review for guided people, read the reviews. I've had many of my fans say, I literally read every single review.
And that's hundreds of them.
I know.
It's almost 1,000 when you figure around the world.
Well, we have over 1,000 reviews on Guided now. When you consume Audible with Amazon
In all the different countries.
around the world,
Yep.
right? That have been leaving reviews, so it's powerful. So I appreciate it when you do that because it helps other people find it and get their answers. So I appreciate that, you guys. Thank you.
Okay. And Jane gave a commercial for the book. Awesome book. Way to go, Jane.
Cool, Jane. And Jane, ask your question. If you want to, what you want to know, before a question, a general question, you always want to ask questions to your guides that are not leading. You want to ask questions that you can't have some kind of outcome in mind. You know that it's clean and you don't know what to expect from the answer. That's another reason why you want to get this journal, because when you write the question into part 3, before you ask it, or while you're thinking it, you write it into part 3 and date it. When you do that, you're not like having to have the answer. You've got to know what it is right now. Please answer me. Oh my God. It's none of that energy. It's you write it in here and you go, okay, done. I'm going to forget I asked that question. But when these things start coming to me, I'm going to know I asked it because I wrote it down.
Right.
And when these things start coming to me, I'm going to go, oh, even if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm going to write it right after the question I wrote. And then later when I look at it, I'll see what they meant by that answer. Okay? Because it's not so much, many times people forget the question they had. So when they get the answer, they don't connect it. All right? Or if they write the question down and they get the answer, they may not connect it right away once they write it in here, but after they look at it a day or a week later, they're going to see it. All right? Let's move this garbage can because it's hitting the camera, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, as long as you don't put your foot out there, it'll be all right.
I'll try not to.
I can't reach it.
Oh, okay.
I saw the camera go wah.
Uh-oh. I dropped something on the floor here. I think people are most astounded by once they start writing things down and then they see it work. And they go, oh my gosh, this works.
Right, exactly. And you know who you have to get approval from, or nobody. You don't have to go to anybody to say, did this work for you? Or have you ever tried that? Or has this ever happened to you? You don't have to get anybody's validation. You have your own. You have your own. But you don't have it if you don't write it down. You got to start writing this stuff down.
Okay. Devonna Roberts. Devonna, welcome.
Devonna,
She
nice
said
to have you.
she read Guided and loved it,
Thank you, Devonna.
especially part 4.
Leave a review, please. Okay.
What is my journey and how can I be more perceptive to my guides?
Right. Okay.
We'll handle those one at a time.
All right. So, all right. That's going to be the first thing you want to do is you want to breathe. You want to learn to breathe. Okay. And breathe like you're getting that yawn, like hyperventilate, do whatever it takes, but finally get that breath and you'll feel your whole upper body, everything just release. And at that point, the guides can reach you because your resistance is gone. All right? That's the first thing. I can only tell you how important that is every time you need guidance. All right? Just remember to do that. And oh, by the way, it's really good for your health. Really good. So, give me her first name again, Ray.
Devonna, D-O-V-O-N-N-A.
Devonna.
Devonna. That's a
Your
beautiful name.
spirit guides and angels are here with us now. And they're going to answer your question. And here they go.
Devonna, you are on a journey of change. You feel something coming that's different from what you do now, but are not quite sure what it is. It hasn't shown itself fully yet, but you have that feeling in your pit of your stomach that something else needs to be done.
Okay. Now, if you were in a coaching session with me, I would, at this point, I'm going to demonstrate this for you. I would at this point say, okay, what do you see? Divanas, spirit guides, and angels. What do you see as the first thing that she's going to notice with this new thing that's coming that she can feel in the pit of her stomach? Okay, what do you see? And here they go.
That as she gets quiet and breathes and asks properly, she will begin to see a new path opening up. It's in this ability to set aside quiet time and breathe properly that you will begin to see a new path of service to others.
And I can feel it. I can feel it in my back and in my neck. So,
That addresses her second part of her question, where what she has to do to be more perceptive, to be more aware of her guides.
That definitely does answer it. So while you were writing the question, they were answering it. All right?
Because they're always broadcasting.
They're
always sending guidance all the time.
Because they're with you.
That's what they do.
And they're with you all the time.
All the time.
All the time. So they're with you in a subtle way because they have no business butting in. And this is your life. They can't interfere with your free will, and what you came here to learn. All right. So you came here to learn you came here to learn to become the person it takes to do what you're going to do, to go where you're going to be going next. So you're not sure if you're that person yet. Am I ready? What is it? Well, they're saying that what you're going to be doing and what this is it comes from being in that quiet place and breathing and writing what you're feeling, what you're thinking. Those are questions. That's asking, okay? And then writing in to your journal where you get those intermittent pieces of guidance, downloads of intelligence coming to you from your guides that you put in your journal right after it's a fluid conversation that you're having with your guides. You think it's going to be just all you talking. It's not. You're going to be talking, and as this relationship with your guides develops and the connection becomes stronger, as you're writing in your journal, whether you're in part 2 or part 3, you're going to be writing and you're going to kind of feel like the flow just goes, and then you're going to start writing again, and it takes off again, and it's got a life of its own, and you're going to realize that you're getting help. That intermingled with your writing is guidance coming through from your guides. All right, it's called channeling, and we're doing it all the time. We're just not tracking it. How could you track it unless you write it down? And then once you write it down and you look back at it a week from now, a month from now, you'll look at it and go, oh, I know the part I wrote, but I can see the part I didn't write. I can see where they were helping me. I can see where they were filtering into my writing. I can see how we're co-creating this. I can see where they're pointing me, okay? Because your guides come in, you come in together, and they stay with you throughout this lifetime, pointing you and guiding you. And if you need a course correction, 15 degrees this way or 25 degrees that way or maybe 180, way out here, 90, 180, whatever. Let's hope they're not that radical, but most of them are somewhere in here, you know. We can handle that. That's okay. But you've got to track it. You've got to write it in your journal, or you're not going to see the steps you're taking, the dots that connect. You know, remember the little games when we were kids? Connect the dots. Connect the dots. If you didn't connect all the dots, it just looks like a bunch of dots. Okay, but once you connect them all, there it is. Right. It's the same thing, you guys.
Yeah, so how do you know if it's, even though if you're writing it down, how do you know if it's came from you or it came from your guides?
You don't. You don't know it until you write it down. Until you write it down, and then you look at it
later,
in 3 days from now, or you look at it in a week from now, or a month, and you look at it and you go, oh, I see. Most of all, I feel it. I know the difference. And then you can go into your journal and you can highlight the parts that you know came from guidance. Just leave it all intact and just highlight the parts that came from guidance, and you can start to see where it keeps showing up and showing up and showing up. Eventually, what will happen from this discipline of doing this is you will start to do it. You will start to know it in the instant it happens, in before you even have a chance to write it down. Okay, it's like, I'll say this: dreams. I became really good at dreams. I went to dream classes in the 80s, and I had this dream in guided. You know, when I first came into this life, I had the merry-go-round dream, and it followed me for 35 years, and so I was supposed to learn about dreams, and when I started to do this, everything about my life just completely changed, you know, and I was getting amazing dreams, and where was I going to go with that? I was writing it down, I was understanding it, and then what would happen? Here's where I was going with that. I'd be in the middle of a dream, I'd be lucid in the dream, and I'd be interpreting the dream while I'm in it. That's pretty wild, okay? So it's kind of like that. You write it down, you're disciplined, you write it all down, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you want to know about, what you're asking, and then all the guidance that comes through as you're doing that, or just random writing as the guidance is, you know, coming through that writing. Eventually what will happen is you'll be getting the guidance without the writing from the discipline of writing it and watching yourself and studying this. You will begin to get the guidance and know the difference between when it's coming from you and when it's coming from the guides. You will instantly know it. You will know it. And when you want to know something, you'll just go, okay, I want to know this, but you won't be in panic mode. I have to know this. No, none of that. It's just you know that you want to know this, and you let it go. But you remember that you know you want to know this. And you just move on with your day. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, driving the car, coming home, going to pick up the mail, boom, it comes through in those mindless moments. And that's when you get that guidance, clear guidance. It's just like when you write and you start to see where they've infiltrated your writing. It's very cool. There's the connection. That's the connection. Yeah.
And they're always broadcasting. When I started writing in my journal, I made a distinction early on, which I shouldn't have done, but I took credit for all the brilliant things that came through. And then when something came through that I didn't want to hear, well, it must have come from them.
Well,
but that's guidance.
It's always guidance.
Yeah, it's not good or bad. It's all guidance. It's like if they tell you, you have your heart dead set on, I'm going to buy a new car, and you keep getting the message, you shouldn't buy a new car. You shouldn't buy a new car. Well, you don't like that message because you had your mind made up, you had an outcome in mind, and that's not following your guidance. That's following your desires. Right.
Right, exactly. And that's what they said in the early part of this about desires. Once a person's desires start to consume them, the guidance can't reach you because you've got some other agenda in mind. And while that's so important to you, you're not going to listen to anybody, let alone guidance, to convince you to do something else, you know?
You know, it's like people always say the three words, I want happiness in my life. Okay? Get rid of the I, that's ego. Get rid of the want, that's the desire. And what's left? Happiness.
Right.
Everything that's left is happiness.
You just have to get out of the way and let things happen. And in the interim, follow up on what's going on with you. So you can become so sharp and so connected. You can become a reliable decision maker, somebody who's really, really precise and good at this. I mean, there's just no other way to do it but to start doing the work for yourself and start tracking what has been going on with you. You're going to be surprised. You're going to love this journey, my guided journey. Free download on my website. Get it, you guys. LindaDeir.com.
Okay, a lot of questions pouring in here.
Okay.
Devana says she always notices the time, 9:11 on the clock. She's been seeing it for years, where the guides tried to tell me.
And you know, whenever you want that answer, you breathe it out. You breathe out, because what you're breathing out is any kind of tension you have around it, or any kind of idea you have about it. So you just let it go. And your spirit guides and angels are still here with us now, and they're going to answer that question, and here they go.
911 could be a sign of an emergency in your life. Or if you look at it as synchronicity, 9 is something you are completing in your life, and 11 means you need to focus on balance.
That's what they mean. Yeah.
Okay.
They're the same number.
Anna Mae, she says, yeah, I do. She's on a journey of service to others. Kate. Hi, Kate. Kate says, Ray and Linda, I have a question. I've been reading tarot cards, and I get information, but there has been specific information have been getting. Should I allow my mother to buy me a house?
Okay. Your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, and they're going to answer that question. Kate, right?
Kate.
Right? Kate.
Kate's turn.
And here they go, Kate.
A house is certainly a nice gift, and your mother feels that you deserve it. However, you must also look at any strings that come along with any gift. Will they be worth it or not?
Okay. So if you have time to decide on this, you also, what I'm feeling, I'm getting this, all right? You may want to let things play out for a little while, all right? There's something that's going to change, and I don't know, it has nothing to do with your mom. It's got nothing to do with you. Maybe it's the market or something. Something's going to shift, and it would be to your advantage if you were to take your time. Just hold off a little while, all right?
Okay. Teresa says, wowie! She's fascinated because she loves to write. They told her to focus on her communication. For writing.
Right.
Okay. Anna Mae says she's always been helping others, and she knows she's a healer, but she struggles with how to do it.
Okay. That's a good question. And your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Anna Mae, and they're going to help you with that. And here they go.
Healing is not something you do. It's something you are. It's a title. You are a healer. And that's what healers do. They help people heal. It's nothing to worry about that you are good at it or not good enough. It just is. You must allow yourself to go with the flow and always see yourself as a healer.
Okay. So if this is my recommendation to get started. You're doing it already, although you may not give yourself any credit for what you're doing, but you're already doing the healing by being compassionate, being a good listener, just being yourself, just being who you are with the nature that you are. You're just naturally that way. Now, as far as what people are reaching for, okay, that would give you a good idea about how you would direct your healing abilities, how you would, if whatever they're reaching for, they keep coming to you for certain things, they keep asking you the same thing, they keep needing the same thing. Write it into part 3 of my guided journey and start taking inventory of what's coming to you. Because like you can't chase this stuff, right? But what's coming to you is what's going to show you where you need to take this and how you need to direct it, all right? It's going to be obvious to you. And in the beginning, what you want to do is just you could even go to a party and say, listen, this is what I do. If you'd like me to offer my services, I'd offer my services for nothing, just to assist you with your party and be some kind of talent at your party where I can do this for your friends or your coworkers or whoever they are, and I'd just be happy to do it. It would be something that would make everybody feel great, So you could offer those type of things, and there's all kinds of people that just love that, and they would love you from doing it, and that would bring you a following. Okay?
Right.
So you just start doing it, and start doing it without any pressure on you, but start documenting your journey as you're going forward, Anime, because this is going to be what keeps you on your path. Anytime that you're moving along and you feel like you're slipping and you're losing it, okay, you go back to what you wrote in your journal. This is part 2 and part 3. You go back to your journey and to the journaling in part 3. And you see, and you go, oh, okay, yep, I get it. I know this is right. And you don't veer off. And you collect yourself again. And what do? You breathe, and you breathe. And if you have to go walking real fast or doing something to get your heart rate up, go running or ride your bike or doing something to get your heart rate up. Do that, because that will make you breathe and get out of your head, okay? So guidance can come through. They're always with you, guiding you, and they want you to do your healing, all right? But you've got to start listening better, that's all, and start documenting it. That's where you start.
Okay. Jerry McDonald joined us. Ellen Brooks joined us. Veronica Baca joined us. Hi, everybody.
You guys.
And Venus says, thank you. She's going to do that. She has a question about her best female friend, and she says they're like twins.
Oh, that figures, right?
Olivia says she loves Leos. We like Leos, too.
We love Leos, too.
Yes. Yeah. Not only are we both Leos, but people who see our chart, I'm not an astrologer, but have...
like you have 12 planets in certain places.
Right.
We have 9 planets in exactly the same place.
Not close. Exactly the same place. 9 out of 12.
The same planets in the same place.
Right.
All astrologers have just gone, excuse me?
Never seen anything like that.
That's like unbelievable.
So we love Leos too. Venus says exactly. Natalie Chapman joined. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Natalie. So do we have more questions here? Greg?
Love you, everyone. Natalie loves everyone.
She's
good.
Great, Natalie.
Jerry, I love this website, and I read all your books.
Leave a review for them.
All the books.
Please.
All the books,
all
not
the
just guided.
Oh, the other.
The other two, the little ones.
These
they have the same picture on the front, but they're different.
Yeah, and they're smaller.
They're small. They're little books. See?
These are like 1 hour listens. About 100 pages, and guided is a 9.5 hour book. Listen, because it's a massive book, right?
Yeah, but the red book is called "How to Live a Guided Life: First Steps." Channeled information from my spirit guide angels, and it's about 100 pages of channeled information, 2 or 3 paragraphs, and a paragraph from Linda on how it works. And the second book is How to Live a Guided Life, Meeting the Real You. Now that could be scary, couldn't it?
Meeting the real you? Well,
Yeah.
it depends on where you are at the time.
That's
No,
right.
meeting the real you is important, Ray. It's not funny. It's okay, Ray. Read this one to these guys right here. I happen to open it to this one. So this is one of the entries in First Steps for the One Little Book.
And there's different chapters, and this is chapter 5, and chapter 5 is all about listening and hearing your guides.
Right. So this is just a little channeled insight from the guides, and then at the end, I talk about how it works. So Ray's just going to read that right now.
Listening and hearing your guides. Listen with your heart. To hear us, you must listen. To listen, you must be silent. You never learn anything by speaking. When you listen in silent receptivity, you can change your life. You must listen over the constant noise of your surroundings. Once you can reach the silence, you can hear us. Listen to us with your heart so we can touch your soul. The silence is what makes it happen. How it works. Now this is the part from Linda. They just described 2 levels of listening. One is listening in silent receptivity, and the other one is listening with your heart. They are both listening. Receptivity creates the environment for listening. Listening with your heart is the fastest and highest form of listening. Master the listening. The 2-way communication with your guides will come next.
Right, right. So it's almost like if I was to describe it in other words, I'd say soften your heart. Let it open, okay? So if you just soften yourself, soften your voice, slow down, breathe, revitalize your vitality. Just let it come through and don't expect anything. And that's when it will happen, okay? That kind of thing.
Okay. Jerry McDonald says, I love this website. I have now read all your books. And something else. Well, we love you, Jerry.
We do, Jerry. Thank you. And we appreciate your support.
And don't forget to leave reviews for the little books,
Ooh,
too.
so important.
They need some love.
They do. They need review love. Okay. They've had quite a few reviews, but people need the support of these reviews. They need to know that there's a good momentum behind the books, so they are not afraid to buy them,
Joy, with the real estate issue,
Okay.
says, thank you so much. She feels better already.
Oh, yeah. You're good. Joy, you are fine.
Yeah, you're going to be fine.
You've got huge recourse in this deal.
Venus, thank you. I was vetting, ready to try. Okay, that's the deal with the house.
Yeah.
Venus, I will. Olivia, I need more time. I have 2 demanding kids. Well, kids are hard. They do take a lot of time.
They
But
do.
you got to set some time. Even if you start with 10, 15 minutes a day, you got to set some time aside.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got to be a time when they're sleeping.
Well, she does. She gets up in the middle of the night, Ray.
Oh, that's good.
And, well, it's good and it's
So
not.
do I, but it's to sneak out into the kitchen and get something to eat, Okay, Jerry's getting ready to journal.
Great.
That's great.
We want to hear how you're doing with that, and we're going to help you with that.
Melanie says, I feel like I'm always in a hurry in my life and that I don't have time to learn everything I'm here for. I feel like my journey here is to learn from past lives and for my son. I need some clarification on what my real journey here really is.
And you're clearer than you think you are.
Right.
You really are.
Yeah, you answered half your question.
Yeah, your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Melanie, and they're going to answer that. They're going to define that. And here they go.
Thinking that you don't have enough time is a symptom of when people think they are missing something. You are not missing anything. you are filling up time with valuable learning. You don't want to rush learning or chase anything or ever feel like there won't be enough time. If there wasn't going to be enough time, then you wouldn't have taken on the challenge to learn everything you came here to learn.
So you do have the time. It just feels like it feels like you're losing your grip on why you came here. So what you want to do, Melanie, is you want to start writing into your journal, and you want to start taking the journey in part 2. I can tell you that right now for you. Take the journey, and be sure for all of you, in part 2, the critical part of part 2 is to watch the video associated with that page in part 2. There's 18 pages in part 2. Before you start writing into that part, because onto that page, because I know unless you watch the video, you won't have the right mindset around where this journey is going to take you. All right? You'll probably have to take it again and again. You don't need to do that. Just watch the video associated with each page first. And that video can be found on my website, lindadeir.com. Go up to the blog, and when it directs you to the next page, the blog page, on the right side where it says categories, under the categories, click on 1, My Guided Journey. And that's going to take you to the page that has all 18 videos on it. The one at the top is about me talking about how this the journey works. In short, it's about 3-minute video, give you a little quick overview. But if you haven't seen it already, but you want to definitely bookmark that page, because as you go through part 2, you're going to be needing to go back and watch the next video and the next video, all right? So that's important for you to do right now.
The last part of her question was she needs some clarification on what her real journey is, because she feels that she's here to learn everything she can from previous lives and for her son.
And for her son.
Right.
Okay. And I'm just saying that there's a lot of information in the part 2 part of this as you do this. It's important to do. But your guides are still here with us now, and they're going to answer that. And here they go.
You are here to teach your son, and we have told you before, you worry too much about your health and running out of time. Your reason for being here on your journey is to give love and experience love.
Wow. You're really upset. I can really feel it in you. Man, I can really feel it in you. So you're having a lot of stress. I'm getting real warm right now. So I know that when I feel that, I can feel it in the client, all right? When I'm in a coaching session, I can instantly feel it. So you need to breathe. You need to get a hold of yourself, and you need to start writing down. Start writing down in part 3 what's going on with you, Melanie. Right? Right?
Yep.
And you need to start really keeping track of what's going on with you, Melanie, so that this doesn't get carried away, and you can stay focused, okay? And you can stay connected, and you can be connected to your guides, so you don't veer off, all right? And you don't let fear get a hold of you. I feel it. And so, wow, that was a lot.
Okay, a couple more questions coming in. You ready?
I'm ready. I was born ready.
Okay. Veronica see here. Yeah, that's nice. Veronica Baca, what's most important for me to know right now?
That's good, Veronica.
Good open question.
That's a non-leading question. It's like one of the cleanest questions you could always ask your guides, or write into part 3 and just put it there and date it, and then catch the answer when it comes to you. Write it in there, right behind that question, okay? And your spirit guides and angels are here with you now, Veronica, and they're going to answer that question, and here they go.
We see you learning to focus more on helping the people that you come in contact with through your work. Be more specific in addressing their pain.
Yeah. Okay. What you need to do is be more direct. Okay? You need to get right into it. Don't dance around it. Don't worry about their feelings. I mean, if they're in pain or whatever's going on with them, their feelings have been the problem. All right? So you need to get right in there and go right after it and nail it down and hit it head on. That's what I want to say. Don't dance around.
Okay. Kate, this is her second question. Oh, no, could she have 2 questions?
She can have two.
Okay, she can have 2. What's the most important thing for her to know right now?
That is so cute, you guys. And Kate, your spirit guides and angels are still here with us, and they're going to answer that question, and here they go.
The most important thing for you to know right now is to not feel pressured in any situation where you have to make a big decision. Write it down.
This is going to save you. Part 3, you start documenting what's going on, and you just start following through with this. Put this next to your bed. Because when you lay down, you're going to have something come through. You're going to go, I need to write that down. So you're going to have this, and you're going to write it right in there, okay? The minute it comes through, turn your little night light on and write it in there. Go to the bathroom, turn the light on, and write it in there while you're doing your thing, you know? That's you definitely keep this next to your bed. Keep this tethered to you, because this will keep you out of trouble. It will keep you out of trouble, and it will connect you in a very amazing way, all right? In a way that you're not expecting.
Okay, Natalie Chapman. Ooh, this is a good one. I have an important question. I'm having a bad time with addiction to cigarette smoking. Seems to be what I enjoy. She enjoys smoking cigarettes, and no matter how much I don't like cigarettes and want to quit, I can't. I still want to smoke because that's what I enjoy. My question is, can you please help me and maybe help suggest things I can do to help me stop smoking? Maybe acupuncture or being hypnotized. Can't spell hypnotized. She realizes that.
That's cute.
That's okay.
That's fine.
I don't know if I can spell hypnotized.
I don't know if I could. Okay.
I know I can't be hypnotized.
Okay.
Because everybody will hypnotize me.
First of all,
the smoking.
Okay, first of all, I smoked, so I know. I quit smoking like 21 years ago. And until I decided that I was going to quit, not where I was going to go get... I went to hypnotists, and I did all the stuff, all right? And as long as I enjoyed it, I wasn't going to stop. So I had to stop enjoying it. So whatever you can do, your guides are going to answer you, but I'm going to share this with you because it's a health issue. Whatever you can do to stop liking it, like if you had to sit down and just smoke a bunch of cigarettes that, chained together, so it just like made you sick, maybe that would do it. I don't know, something like that. But your spirit guides and angels are going to answer that question because they know you better than I do. And here they go.
Linda is is right. You.
I love being right.
That must be great. That's great guidance coming through there.
That doesn't always happen, by the way, but go ahead.
You must break the pattern you have put yourself into. This bad habit will become a health problem, and that health problem will become your destiny. You must do something to not enjoy it anymore. Try this. Take a mason jar half full of water and a lid. Each time you smoke a cigarette, put the butt into the jar of water. Keep doing this, and before you want to smoke another cigarette, open the lid and take a deep breath until you get sick to your stomach from the smell.
Yeah. Okay, so that's just one suggestion. Another thing is when you're thinking about smoking a cigarette and how it makes you feel, go out the door, there's the cigarette, you want that cigarette, go out the door and go walking briskly. Get your breathing going. Feel where your lungs are. Feel where you are. Do your own health check to know where you are. And feel you're needing to grab that breath, and you could be breathing better. You're going to feel it. You're going to know. And you're going to go, oh boy, the last thing I want to do is grab that cigarette. I don't want to feel like this. What you do is it brings to your attention where you are with your smoking right now, where it's affecting you. That's what I did. I did those kind of things to make me aware of where I was, because I've always been an athlete my entire life. And when I saw where I was having trouble breathing from smoking the cigarettes, I was like, whoa, I don't need this, I know where this is going, and I gotta get a hold of this. And so that was another part of it. Another part of it I did, I want you to succeed at this, is I quit smoking like in my car. I wouldn't smoke in my house. I made smoking inconvenient for me. So then every time, like, I'd be doing something, I'd be working on my computer, I'd be doing something, and all of a sudden I'd have this urge to have a cigarette. I have to go outside. I want to work. I want to do what I'm doing. I want to call that person. But no, I had to go outside and smoke a cigarette. What's wrong with me? And I started feeling like that. So I just started creating boundaries around the smoking that helped me notice it more, and it gave me more power over it. Okay, that's what I want to say to you. All right. I hope
Good-
you can. I hope
good
you can
advice.
stop. I hope you can stop.
It's a tough one. Okay, Jerry McDonald. I seem to be getting blocked on getting answers to my questions from my guides. I'm reading the question on fear. So she's at the fear
Right.
page.
Okay.
That's what? Page one?
Yeah, page
Page
one.
one.
Okay.
Can't get past my first fear in
Right.
relation to what is going on currently in my life. Okay. What is going on currently in your life that relates to page one? Just put it in.
Put it in there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can the guides tell me that is important for me about my fears?
Okay. And I'm going to say this while you're writing it down, Jerry, is when you have there's no rules on how you use this journal. All right. In part two. Part two is 18 pages that walks you through your journey. I've heard most people, I don't know anybody
Yeah.
who started with page one.
Right. She's not the first one that couldn't get past the fear page.
No, what they do is they skip over the pages, they breeze through them, and they decide, oh, I can do this one, page 13 or something. Do that one, and then do the next one, because page 13 was pretty good. You can remember what happened on page 14, and you can remember what happened on page 15, And then you go back to, when you're done with all the way up to 18, you go back to 13 and then you start moving back to 12. And then you can remember what happened there. And then you go back and you do 11. Pretty soon, eventually you get back to page 1, fear, and there it is. It's not an effort at all. So that's a little help with you on that level. But you're going through something in your life right now that you said is fear-based. So that's why you're really focused on the fear, which will make it even a little harder for you to achieve results in part 2 with jumping right into fear when you're already against the wall with fear right now in your life, right? So now you've got a double whammy working there. But your guides are going to talk to you about it, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And your spirit guides and angels are here with us now. And give me her name again, Ray.
It's Jerry, and I'm looking for your answer. What's going on in your life right now that relates to the fear?
To the fear right now.
All right.
So did she bring you that anscer?
No, I'm looking for
Okay.
it. Put it in there, and we'll come back to your question.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get that.
Okay.
That way we can really nail it down, right?
Want some water?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Venus says, have a great night. She had to leave us, everyone. Thank you,
right.
Ray and Linda, so much. Jane,
Thank
to
you.
Natalie, consider reading Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Smoking. She must have done that.
What is it, Ray?
A book by Alan
Oh,
Carr.
good.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Natalie says she also wants to ask about a past life where she was black and had a son that I love dearly. Want to ask if my son is alive still and if he's doing good, and I also want to know if I can contact him. That's a lot of questions there.
Well, they'll sum it up.
Yeah.
They'll package it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Natalie, your spirit guides and angels are still here with us now, and they're going to talk to you about that. And here they go. And Jerry, we're still waiting for that response from you.
Natalie, if you are in a session with your guides, you can always ask us if he is available to talk, or if someone who knows him can talk for him. We don't see clearly right now if he is here with us.
Okay, what's going on is we've got a lot of commotion going on here in this session today with a lot of people, and they would suggest spending intimate time with you, okay, where you can ask questions and get answers, and you're the only one in the session, because there's something about it where maybe it's a little bit too revealing. There's something there that they don't feel like it should be. It's appropriate for an open session like this. Okay, so
Bridget.
Hi,
Linda and Ray. I would love to hear what my guides can tell me about my journey. You're a person of many journeys.
She is, and your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Bridget, and they're going to answer that question. And here they go.
Bridget, you are a wanderer and a wanderer of the world. It's important for you to continue your journey to places that you find fascinating. When you do this, you will soon feel that you had another life in one of these places.
Very cool. It's gonna feel like deja vu.
We talked to a coaching client one time that went on a trip and visited her own grave. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Woof.
In
It was Ireland or something.
yeah,
I think it was Ireland.
Yeah, I think it was too.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah. Do we have that response from
Um,
Jerry?
From Jerry. My fear is my future relationship and current career. Okay.
Okay, we got it. Okay. And your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Jerry, and they're going to answer that question around fear.
Do you fear that your relationship is at the end, or your career needs to change? If you are feeling this, there must be a reason. You must isolate that reason and examine it thoroughly. Are you in fear of loss? We do not see that. We see transition, and you feel an obligation to continue with both of these because of what people will say or think about you.
That's a tough spot. That's something you have to learn to release. That's not something that supports you in where you're going in your journey in this life in any healthy way. So the first thing that you notice is if you're worried about what somebody's going to think about you, or it could mess up your relationship. I remember when I was married before, and I was taking dream classes, and I was just crazy for him. And I was learning so much. I was such a prime candidate for this. And my husband at the time said, "Stop going to those dream classes, Linda." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, it's going to ruin our marriage." And I thought, wow, you mean dream classes have that much power to ruin our marriage? It must mean that our marriage doesn't have much going for it, all right? And I just looked at him and I said, that's like asking me to, after I opened up Pandora's box and found all this great stuff, to slam it shut, pretend it never happened, all right? So he was furious with me, all right? I disappointed him, didn't I? If I had let what he was going to do or think about me affect that decision, my life would be so different today. I would be so repressed. So, just a little bit of advice there for you. What do we have, Ray?
Well, we have, Bridget said, very helpful advice about waking up in the morning. So you have to remember to breathe and listen.
Yes.
And before that foot grounds yourself back out into this world,
Write it. Keep this next to your
listen
bed.
to what the guides are saying.
Bridget, keep this next to your bed and document what's coming through gently. It's always going to come through to you gently and easily. It's almost like, that's guidance? Really? It's so easy. That's right.
Yep. Lori Phillips joined us. Lori, hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Lori makes the greatest ladybug potholders in the world. I saw those today.
How cute is that?
They're really cute.
Oh.
Delene joined us. Hi, Delene.
Hi, Delaney.
Kate Mel. Wow, thank you. I'm speechless. I thank you for the Tuesdays. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, we love you guys. We know this is important, okay?
Delene. Okay. She's been in the hospital for a while. Sorry I'm joining late. However, I have a question needing help with. Due to my medical issues, I'm thinking about retiring this year. Is this something I should really think about doing?
And your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Delaney, and they're going to answer that, and here they go.
If you retire, you must have something to do. Something that is service to others. Something that can take your mind off of your medical challenges. We want you, if you retire, to help others in any way you can, doing this will help you heal.
You know, I'm going to say this. I don't know if you have any animals or any of that, but what is this about animals? What would that be one of the things that you're thinking about doing?
They need help.
Is working with animals, or maybe training animals so that you could have this assist animal that assists you when you help others, like where you go and
A therapy animal.
Right? Where they're it's amazing what they're doing with how they're using animals and how animals have jobs. Okay, so what is that? So what do we have, Ray?
We have Colette joined us. Hi, Colette.
Hi, Colette.
Melanie, I do write things down in a journal and even the messages I get here on your live sessions. I'm going through and answering all the questions in the book as well.
Oh, good.
The answer from my guides this evening is interesting. I wasn't expecting them to say to just love. I'm going to have to listen to the message again to really fully understand it. I also felt anger as you did. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. That's some healing that you need to do. That's just healing. That's residue.
It's frustration.
It is. It's understandable. Okay. So just get in there and write it down. Just don't say I got anger and I felt it. Write down what you felt. Write down what the anger was. If you have to swear, write it in there. Whatever it takes to pour your heart out. Write it in there with your truth. Okay? If it has, you guys, if it has swear words in it or it's something like that, or whatever it happens to be, if it's crude the way that you have to write it down and you're just so bloody angry, write it in there. Okay? Because when you do it, you take it out of here where it's going to cause a problem.
Right.
And you put it in here, okay? And you let the pages bleed. You don't let you bleed. And that way you can look back at it and go, oh, although that's a disturbing thing to read, I needed to put this somewhere because I can't carry it here anymore. This is not good for me, all right?
Some of that anger might be coming from the diagnosis that she had about her health.
I know.
People think a diagnosis is a sentence. It's not.
And then
it's a diagnosis.
And once they put you through the medical system, everybody treats you like you've got a disease.
And they try to scare you.
Yeah.
And that causes the anger that you have the disease.
Huge.
It causes more anger.
And if you went through a whole bunch of that recently, I could see that. I could totally see that, you know? So, yeah. You want your control back over your life.
Bridget has a comment for Ray and Linda. Wow.
Bridget's great. We look forward to that.
And Lori thanks us for the comment on the ladybug. Those are really cool.
You know, people don't care what you know until they know that you care, right? Well, these are the small things that matter. And
Natalie says, thank you. Dina Kojo Guide. I would like to hear what my guides can tell me about my journey.
All right, good question. Because today, what this is about what kind of journey are you on? And so she's staying with the theme of what we're talking about. Good one. Dina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dina, your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, and they're going to answer that, and here they go.
You have a journey of assistance and help. You think that many pets are much nicer than people, and we see that as being true. Animals don't have to reason or make excuses for relationships. They just allow them to happen with unconditional love. by watching how animals conduct their lives, you can project that along your journey with the people you meet.
So what are they saying there, Ray? How do you
Try not to judge people. Judge them like animals do. Animals don't judge you. They just like you no matter what. You can lock them in the trunk or anything.
But that's the metaphor here. They're telling her to think more like the animal.
Right.
Okay.
Unconditional love.
Right. But what's this connection to the animal? What do you think they're connecting with on that?
Mm-hmm.
Here they go.
They said she likes animals better than people.
Okay, here they go.
Some people. It's important to know that comparing the love you get from animals versus people, you don't always feel loved with people.
Okay, so this is just a, I'm going to call it what it is. It's an epidemic in our society, in humanity, with humanity, and it's just sad that everybody, most people are shut down. They're worried about what someone's going to take from them, or that they won't have enough, or they're angry about not getting ahead or something like that. I don't know. It's a superficial type of reasoning, and your animal, they're just so clean. They don't have any of that. So I see, in fact, I see so many people being called into service by their guides, that I see a big, giant need for healers coming up in the next, it's happening right now, but it's really going to peak in about 3 years from now, you guys. It's going to get radical. So that's when we all need to be on board with our sleeves rolled up and ready to get in there and help these people who've been missing the boat for a long, long time. And they've been making this world hard to live in, and now they're ready to get it right. They're in enough pain. So that's why so many of you are being called into service now.
Okay. Anime says, thank you guys. You were a lot of help. Well, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Please come back and join us again. Lori, you guys are awesome. You're awesome, honey.
You are too, Ray.
Thank you for all you do to help us. And Colette wants to know more about what's the 3-ring binder thing? Let's show her.
The 3-ring
She
binder.
came in late.
Okay, so this is My Guided Journey. It's a free download. It's my 4th book, Colette, on the Linda Deir website, lindadeir.com. That's LINDADEIR.com. It's right on the homepage. So go there tonight and go ahead and download it so you can print it out. And go ahead.
It prints out in 2 sizes. It prints out in standard 8.5 by 11
right,
size. I kind of like the big one because there's a little more room to write. I write bigger than Linda does. But all you do is print out the pages and punch them with your punch and put them in a binder. And the only difference in the binder is that's half the size.
Yeah, this is just smaller.
It's easier to carry around. I leave this one on my desk.
Yeah, and this has been a work in progress, Colette. Now, I'll show you what a work in progress, what I mean. It's just loaded with all kinds of
Scribbling.
notes. And I've got all kinds of, it's a mess. But what's happening is My Guided Journey is about to become published on Amazon. Our guides came
And you
through.
heard it here first.
Yeah. Our guides came through and told me that they didn't want this published right away. This originally came out as a work in progress.
About 6 months ago.
About maybe more.
Yeah,
Something
8
like,
months ago.
Yeah. And we've been working with you guys on Facebook Live, working with you guys on this, and getting emails from people that are using it and questions and stuff. So we've got the 18 videos that are associated with each page of the journey in part 2. So you definitely want to get that as well. So when you go on the website and you get this for free, you want to go to the blog at the top, click on it, and go to that page, and underneath categories, you're going to click on one, My Guided Journey, and that's where all the videos are, all 18 of them associated with each page in part 2. You want to watch those before you start writing out your journey, because you got to get the right mindset around it. And Ray and I did 18 hours of videos on part 2 just to get you guys through that, so you had your bearings, okay, and you could work through it and actually achieve it. Okay.
All right, we're getting near the end here. Melanie says she did lose control over her life with her health. She's angry that she lost that control.
Yeah.
She's fighting hard to get it back.
Yeah.
You're a fighter, Melanie.
Yeah.
You're still young and strong enough to do that.
Yeah, but because she's young,
Right.
that's why you would be angry.
Right.
You know, why did this happen to me?
Right.
I mean, there's some healing that needs to happen there. It's every one of our journeys, you guys, is tough. We didn't come here to live a milquetoast life. We came here to get some work done. We came here to get answers. And the things that we go through in this life that seem to just kind of show up, nothing does that, by the way. Everything is specific, and everything is just like it was meant to be before we got here. And our guides know that. And each one of us have a different level of intensity in this life. So you, in your case, have chosen something pretty intense here. All right, could have been a lot more intense, but nevertheless, it's intense. And your guides know it, and they're with you ever more closely because they know that you're under pressure. Okay, but this anger, you've got to write this anger out, because what's happening, Melanie, is you've got the anger, you're just frustrated. When you do that, you see that? You break the connection to your guides, all right? You're not breathing. You're not letting them in. You're not open. You're not connecting, okay? And you're not coming from your heart. You're coming from your anger, and it gets in the way. So you just have to purge it, write it in here. Part 3, get it out of your system. Take it out of here and stick it in here, all right? And then you can later look at this and go, okay, I can see this now. I know what this is. I know how this is working against me, and I know where it came from. I know what it is. So it doesn't have you anymore. It doesn't control you anymore.
Right.
And any of these doctors or the medical community does anything to blast you with fear and make you feel like, oh, whatever they make you feel, you've got control over it. You sit there and you write it in there. You write it in there. And you don't let that control you. No way. And it will clear things up. I know it will. Yeah.
Just take control of it yourself.
Yeah, that's how you take control of it. You start documenting what's going on with you. You know what your journey is? You have to pay attention more than the other person who doesn't have this challenge in their life.
Right.
You have to pay attention more. This is what you use to do that. Okay.
All right. Delene, thinking about retiring. Remember?
Yeah.
Her daughter has a service animal in her home,
Wow.
and maybe that's what she needs to do after retiring.
Wow.
Well, that would be a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah, look, think about that, and talk to your daughter about that, about what she's done with her animal, and,
Take therapy animals around people who need companionship.
And how does that work, Ray?
Well, you can take them anywhere. The hospitals, nursing homes, retirement homes.
But where do you get the therapy animals? Her
Well,
daughter. Take her daughters.
Yeah, her daughters, therapy animals.
You
or
can
you can
start
train.
there.
There's plenty of books out there now on how to train your own.
But she
Service
wants to
animal.
put her toe in the water first.
Right.
She could take her daughter's service animal.
Right.
And use that as the catalyst to start feeling it out.
Right.
Okay? And then if it feels right to you, you can start automatically, the ideas will start pouring in.
Right.
You'll think they came from you.
Yeah. There's all these organizations who give you like a puppy. And you raise it and you teach it to do certain things and you have it for a period of time, and it's tough to get rid of it, but you get another one. They find a home for that service dog.
They find a job.
A job for that dog.
And one thing these dogs love, they love their jobs.
They love a job.
Yeah, it's not like people who don't like to work.
Not like a cat.
Not like a cat. But you know what? Cats like to work. They just like to work on their own clock, Ray.
Yeah. Well, you never see a whole team of cats strapped up to a sled, that's for sure. They must not like to work that much.
So are we wrapping this
Colette, yep, thank you so much.
Okay.
She's so excited to be here. Loves and kisses. We love you too.
guys.
Melanie says she trains dogs, and I'm training a dog to be a mobility service dog right now.
Very good.
Maybe the dog is really meant for you, Mom, Delene. Okay. Yeah, you're going to meet a lot of people here in this group who come to Tuesday nights.
What we're going to do right now is I'm going to announce next week's.
Next
which
week.
I almost blew, huh?
Uh-oh.
Okay, next week. Same place, same time, right here on Facebook Live, April 3rd, Tuesday, April 3rd. That's when you can speak to your guides again on Tuesday with me, Ray, and the guides. 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. The guides will be talking about what it feels like to like yourself. This will come out in next week's Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, so make sure you get those. Ray posted that in the early part of this session at the very top of the feed, so you guys can, they're free, they come out every Tuesday, and it's channeled information from the guides about navigating the uncertain world that we are all living in now. Okay, so be sure to get that. And here's what they're going to be talking about. People have told you that the secret to a happy life is to just love yourself. How can you love yourself if you don't like yourself? There's a big difference. There are many things you don't like, but love. You had relationships where you thought you loved that person, but learned not to like them. Why is it so complicated to figure out the difference?
There's a big difference.
So what's the difference?
Well, everybody's had these relationships where when you first met the person, you fell in love. You loved them. They told you they loved you, and you told them you loved them, but you really didn't know them well enough to like them yet. You might have had some things in common with them, but...
You didn't know if you liked them.
You didn't know if you liked them.
You didn't take enough time
up front
to be friends,
to be best friends,
to allow a friendship.
Right.
Too busy chasing the love.
Chasing a relationship. And what happens is, you said that you love that person, they said they love you, but that person has some flaws and you have some flaws, and you compromised, there's the big C word, compromised, in order to have that relationship.
Even when you saw the flaws.
Even when you saw the flaws.
The red flag.
The red flag, you knew it was there.
The stop sign.
So there was things that you didn't like about them, even though you said you loved them, and you just continued on.
So that's a situation where you love more than you want to see what's really going on.
More than you love yourself.
Well, that's right. And that's where you nice it up, okay? It's like throwing yourself down as a sacrifice.
I remember that.
To have this relationship. You know, you're going to do anything to have this relationship, even though you're getting all the red flags and you know that it's not good for you, because you don't want to wait. It always comes down to that. The only thing that gets us in trouble, you guys, is our lack of patience and trust and connecting, staying connected to what's really going on and seeing things for what they really are. That just seems to be too much for people to do. But that's where we keep, it's like the karmic ride, the karmic circle. We keep getting ourselves in trouble again and again and again and again. And I mean, at some point you just sit back and go, you know, some people will say, I'm not doing this anymore. Well, good, finally. You mean you're going to breathe and you're finally going to let that go? That's what needs to happen. We need to let up on what we want, what we desire, and sit back and trust our universe and let it come to us. That one act all by itself is an act of liking yourself. That's what it looks like, and that's what it feels like to like yourself. When's the last time you did that? When's the last time you didn't push the limit? You didn't go out and chase it?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be about. So This is all about helping everyone to take that breath. There's that breath again. Write in your journal what that impulse was, what that moment where you felt like you were going to pounce and repeat it again and do it again and cause another problem for yourself again and be let down again because that person isn't the right person for you. You chased it. They didn't come to you. It didn't just get deposited into your life and magically show up. That's how it really works. Love doesn't, you don't go finding love. Love finds you.
What do they say? The guys say, you never get to pick who loves you.
It's true. You don't. That's not how this happened here with Ray and I. I didn't, in fact, I pushed him away for several weeks. And finally, he was persistent, though. He beat the door down.
Caved in.
But it was more than that. When you read my flagship book, Guided, you find out that it was much more than that. That this was divinely sent in. And when that happens, you really do have to take pause, serious pause, and go, I know I'm not good at this, so I just need to get out of my way and let this play out, because the way I picked them, what I picked for myself, and I'm talking about myself, wasn't.
Your picker was broken.
How about yours?
Yeah. Some hard lessons there.
So we get through it, but anyway, we have to be open to what is and not fight it, and be patient with the process, and enjoy the ride, and breathe, and learn to like yourself. When you do that, you're learning to like yourself. The byproduct of liking yourself is loving yourself. It's not something you do. It's something that happens. It just happens. You can't help it once you like yourself. So
people are also afraid that they're going to be alone.
Well, this is the problem. This is the urgency that people are pouncing on, and that doesn't work. It doesn't pan out. So there's no excuse good enough for not getting the best relationship. All right.
That's right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this session up by doing the closing message from the guides on today's what kind of journey are you on? And here they go as a message to the group. Okay, and here they go.
All of you chose what journey you would take in this lifetime. You chose it in order to become a more complete person and take care of any unfinished business from past lives. It's all part of evolving as a person whose soul's urge is to express itself.
Right. It's something that you know what it is because it's there. And it's not something that you made there, not something you wanted and you went out and chased it. It's just there. It's the truth. It's your truth center. It's your driving force, okay? If anything gets in the way of that, write it into part 3 of my guided journey. So you can tell on yourself and date it. So you can see where your flaws are. This is not to be critical of you. This is to spot where you're off track. So you can do the course correction. You can see where you need to make the course correction. And in the process of doing this, you make the connection to your guides. They can start reaching you. And they will start reaching you. Once you do this work and you keep track of, you keep documenting what's going on with you, and you give yourself that breath, and you just let that information come to you, and you don't chase it anymore, and you release the stress, the anger, the pressure. You release it, okay? Because it's harming you. It's not helping you. And you pour it out on these pages. So this becomes the depository for that stuff, all right? And it's no longer something that you carry. It's something that you can then observe, all right? next week. We will see you guys here on Tuesday, and we love you all, and we really do.
And tell your friends.
Tell your friends about us and what we're doing, and tell them about the books and